Welcome back to the cryptowrld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now Bitcoin is bouncing from this major area of support here in the short term as the price is continuing to play out this oversold signal, while the Bitcoin price is now starting to liquidate some short positions. So I'll be talking about that in just a moment, alongside Ethereum now starting to run into this critical area of resistance here in the short term, while Solana is still playing out this oversold signal. So I'll be talking about all of that and more later in the video, so definitely watch to the end. First of all, starting off on the 4-day Bitcoin chart, and right now the super trend indicator is still sitting in the red, so nothing's really changed here on this chart. So getting straight into the 2-day Bitcoin chart, and right now technically we're still within this massive descending broadening wedge pattern, and so as of right now we still ultimately need to see a breakout above around 67 to 68,000 to be much more confident that we're flipping much more bullish again on the larger timeframes, essentially expecting more of a bull run only if we start breaking out above around 67 to 68,000. And so despite what happens in the short term on slightly smaller timeframes, the larger timeframes here have not really changed over the last couple of days. And so if we're getting straight into this daily Bitcoin chart, the same can be said about this chart right here in particular, because this DXY is closed for trading over the weekend. So we don't really have any new updates over the last 1 to 2 days on this chart here in the DXY. So if you're new to the channel and you want to know more about this chart, then check out my last couple of videos here on the channel if you want to know more about this chart right here. And so getting straight into this daily Bitcoin chart, and what we are seeing right now is a continued bounce just in the short term from this major area of support sitting in between around 60.2k to 61.2k. So basically around 60 to 61,000, currently acting as strong support just in the short term. And as for resistance, as we continue this bounce to the upside, we could find some resistance at close to 63,000. But if we see a continued move back up above 63,000, then in that case, the next resistance to watch out for is sitting in between around 64.1k to 64.5k approximately, based on previous resistance. And above that, we have significant resistance starting close to 67,000 and going up towards around 68,000. And so those are the support and resistance areas to pay attention to on this daily Bitcoin chart as of right now. And if we're zooming further into the short term on the 6-hour time frame, we're still pretty much perfectly playing out this oversold signal in the short term as expected, as I've been saying over the last few days or so. Because obviously, if you've been watching my last few videos here on the channel, all the way back around here, I said that very, very soon, over the next couple of days, we're most likely going to see a break or relief from all of this bearish price action in the form of either some choppy sideways price action or maybe a slight bounce here in the short term as the most likely scenarios over the next few days. And obviously, since then, we've seen exactly that. And obviously, yesterday, I talked about how we're most likely going to see this at least over the rest of the weekend. But now that the weekend is coming close to an end and we're starting to enter into the new week, obviously we could start to see some more volatility coming soon. But keep in mind, we're just now starting to potentially liquidate some short positions, which I'll talk about in just a moment. But first, if you want to trade these moves in the price of Bitcoin or any other crypto, personally, I take just about all of my trades over on Bybit. So I'll make sure to leave a link to Bybit down below this video in the description and in the pinned comment. And if you use that link down below this video to make your Bybit account and deposit on an account, then you can get up to a $30,000 deposit bonus, but only if you use that link down below this video. And also, if you use that link, it'll take you to this page right here, which is my cryptoworld team in the world series of trading, which is the biggest trading competition in the world, and it's happening right now over on Bybit. And it's completely free to join my team if you want to in this trading competition. And just by joining my team, that enters you into this lucky draw right here, where you could potentially win a Rolex watch or even a luxury yacht. Yes, that's right. Bybit is actually giving away a luxury yacht in this trading competition as a lucky draw prize if you simply enter the competition and join my team. And basically, the more people that join my cryptoworld team, the better our chances are at potentially placing well in the competition and getting a shot at this $10 million prize pool. And so if you're trading crypto anyway, you might as well check this out. Once again, first link down below this video. But for whatever reason, if you cannot access Bybit or if you cannot KYC on Bybit, there's also Bitternex, which is another crypto exchange similar to Bybit, but you don't need KYC for Bitfinex, which means if you're in the US or the UK, for example, or another country where you might not be able to access Bybit, you can access Bitfinex. So I'll also leave a link to Bitfinex down below this video. And if you use that link, you can get up to a 5.5k deposit bonus. And only if you use that link, you can get an exclusive 10% discount on all trading fees on the Bitfinex exchange forever. But that's only if you use the link down below this video to make your Bitfinex account. And so as another option out there other than Bybit, once again, there's Bitfinex, links down below if you want to claim those extra bonuses. But with that being said, getting back into the Bitcoin charts today, and like I was just saying, we're continuing to play out a bit of a short-term bullish relief, basically resetting the RSI back to the upside out of those oversold territories, which confirms just a few days ago. But if you watched my last video here on the channel, I said a potential squeeze is getting closer. And by squeeze, I mean a short squeeze. As I said in my last video, I talked about how the price is getting closer towards liquidating some short positions here in the Bitcoin liquidation heat map. And right now, as of recording this video, we are just now starting to see some early liquidations, starting to liquidate some short positions, which could be acting as some fuel, basically some bullish fuel, pushing the price a little bit higher here in the short term as short positions get liquidated. But as I also said in my last video, I don't necessarily expect a massive bullish movement out of that potential short squeeze. It could just be a minor short squeeze here in the short term, considering we don't have a lot of liquidity immediately above the price, but there's still some liquidity that is worth paying attention to. And so first of all, we do have a decent amount of liquidity right at around 63,000 or just underneath 63,000. And then we have a little bit more liquidity at around 63.4k and a decent amount of liquidity in between around 64.2k to 64.9k approximately. And then we have more liquidity closer towards around 66,500. And so basically, as the price of Bitcoin moves into that area of liquidity right there and start liquidating these short positions, that will help the price of Bitcoin being a little bit more bullish here in the short term, pushing the price a little bit higher. But once again, because it's not a massive amount of liquidity, I don't expect a massive bullish movement, maybe just a continued slight relief as we're taking out some of these short positions. And now it's still worth pointing out that we still actually have a decent amount of liquidity at just underneath $60,000, more specifically around 59.6k to 59.8k. And so just keep that in mind. There's still a lot of liquidity down there as well, but ultimately we'd have to first see some sort of rejection from one of these levels of resistance. And also keep in mind that there's still this major area of support that's sitting between the current price and that lower level of liquidity. Once again, this support's still sitting in between around 60.2k to 61.2k. And so that is the situation for Bitcoin in the immediate short term right now. Once again, those are the levels of resistance to watch out for where the price could potentially struggle at. But ultimately, we're looking a little bit more bullish in the slight short term here as we're playing out that oversold signal and liquidating some short positions in a small short squeeze. That's the short term situation right now. But in terms of the longer term trend, technically speaking, this is not fully confirmed a reversal here in the larger timeframes because we've not yet confirmed a breakout above around 67 to 68,000. But with that being said, taking a look at Ethereum on the 3-day time frame, and right now alongside Bitcoin, we are continuing to see a very slight little bounce in the short term, and ultimately we're still remaining above this massive area of support in between around 2150 to 2.2k. But also, like Bitcoin on the larger time frames, technically speaking, we've not fully confirmed a bullish reversal out of this larger bearish trend, at least not yet. And ideally, in order to flip much more bullish again on these larger timeframes for the price of ETH, we ideally need to see a breakout above around 2.8k because that is significant resistance on the price chart, which was previous significant support. And with that being said, zooming into the shorter term on the 8-hour time frame, we're still pretty much perfectly playing out this oversold signal, which I've already been talking about over the last few days. Once again, I've been saying we're most likely going to see a slight bullish relief or at least a bit of a sideways consolidation. So a break or a relief from all of this bearish price action here just in the short term as we're now resetting the RSI out of those oversold territories. And if we're simply looking at the last few times this has happened, the last times we've seen an oversold signal confirm here in the 8-hour Ethereum RSI, we can see what we should be expecting as a likely scenario in the coming days or weeks. So once again, this is usually either a slight consolidation or a slight bullish relief in the short term over the next few days or maybe even up to a week or so. But in order to expect a continued bullish relief beyond just a week, we need to break out above key levels of resistance. For example, on this 8-hour Ethereum chart, we have this area of resistance that we're running into right now as of recording this video, and that's sitting in between around 2440 to 2470, acting as strong resistance as we've seen previously and was also previous support. But if we see a breakout with confirmation, so candle closes above this resistance, so above around 2470, then in that case, the next area of resistance here in the short term is sitting in between around 2550 to 2580, and above that we have significant resistance in between 2.7k to 2.8k. And if we confirm a breakout above any of these areas of resistance with confirmation, so candle closes above the resistance and ideally retesting the resistance successfully, if that happens, then ultimately that would flip this previous resistance into new support. So these resistance would become new support areas on the price chart. But as of right now, the current support to pay attention to that we're looking at right now is this area in between around 2280 to 2320, acting as support as we've seen previously, just in case we see any sort of short-term rejection. Once again, that should now act as support. And when it comes to the short-term trend and momentum for the price of ETH, not the longer-term trends, but the short-term trend here, ultimately I'd flip much more bullish again if we can confirm a breakout above this first area of resistance, breaking out above around 2470 and ideally flipping that into new support. In that scenario, we can finally start flipping more bullish again in terms of the short-term trend. So once again, these short-term trends usually last for a number of days, maybe even over a couple of weeks, but the longer-term trends last for a matter of months, sometimes even up to a year plus. And if we're taking a look at Solana on the daily time frame, right now we're continuing to bounce from this area of support. And this area of support, as I mentioned in my last video, is still sitting in between around 137 to 142. So right now, that's still the area of support to pay attention to. And the next major area of resistance to the upside is sitting in between around 159 to 163. But before that area, we could also find some short-term resistance at around 153 to 154 based on previous price action. And as I've also mentioned in recent videos here on the channel, there's the possibility that there is a potential inverse head and shoulders pattern forming right now on the daily Solana chart. But in order for this pattern to actually confirm, for it to complete and set up the bullish price target, we need to see a continued bullish relief here in the short term over the coming days and weeks. And then we ultimately need to see a breakout above this area of resistance. So breaking out above around 163 in order to actually confirm that potential inverse head and shoulders pattern. So as of right now, obviously that pattern is not confirmed as of right now. And if we're zooming into the shorter term, looking at the 6-hour time frame, we can still see the price of Solana pretty much perfectly playing out this oversold signal here in the 6-hour Solana RSI. And once again, comparing it to what we've seen previously, usually this plays out in the form of a bounce or at least a sideways consolidation in the coming days or even up to maybe a week or two. But ultimately, when it comes to signals like this, we can be quite confident in the signals playing out for the first couple of days. But then after it's already been a few days, after it's say been a week or two, then we can become less and less confident that this signal will continue to play out. And so in order to expect a more sustainable bullish trend to actually start forming and playing out for the price of Solana, ultimately we need to start forming higher lows and higher highs and ideally breaking out above key resistance. First of all, breaking back out above around 153 to 154 and ideally breaking out above these highs right here, above around 162 to 163. Because in that scenario, once again, that would potentially confirm an inverse head and shoulders pattern, which would be extremely bullish for the price of Solana if that actually confirms and if we see a breakout above 163. But for now, we still have a decent way to go before we get there. And so ultimately, just in the short term, Solana will likely follow along with what Bitcoin and Ethereum are doing. So pay attention to my Bitcoin analysis in particular if you want to know what Solana and a lot of other altcoins are doing, because usually a lot of the crypto market kind of follows what Bitcoin is doing. And once again, if you want to trade these moves in the price of Bitcoin or any other crypto, check out those links down below this video if you want to claim those extra bonuses. And if you want to actually know how to trade crypto, no matter if the price is bullish, bearish, or chopping around sideways, then make sure to watch these videos popping up right here on your screen. The video in the top left shows you how you can profit from bullish or bearish price action using long positions or short positions, and the video in the bottom left shows you how you can easily profit from choppy sideways price action. But anyway, that is everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.